accidental, but it's still under investigation. And crews worked quickly this afternoon to stop the forward spread of a brush fire in Valley Center. Sky 10 flew over the scene. The so-called Keys fire broke out just after 2 o'clock near Lilac Road and Keys Creek Road. The fire grew to 30 acres within a half hour, burning grass and brush in the area. An evacuation warning was also issued. It's been lifted when firefighters announced they had gotten a handle on the fire. The cause is under investigation. Turning now to our weather. You may not have noticed it, especially if you were outside all day, but we are experiencing cooler than normal temperatures for this time of year across San Diego County. And ABC 10 News meteorologist Megan Perry is here with a look at the numbers and how long the trend will last. Megan?
I mean, you're right. I sit here and I go, oh my gosh, it's so much cooler than normal. But when you go outside, you're like, it's warm. All right, it's still summer. But let me show you the numbers because the numbers don't lie. So here are the averages for today's average high, and these are the temperatures we actually hit. El Cajon and Vista saw the biggest spread, 5 to 6 degrees cooler. It's not a huge spread, but it is cooler, and especially when you think back to earlier this summer when temperatures were 5, 10, even 15 degrees above normal. These are feeling a lot more comfortable. Escondido with the smallest spread, only a degree below average. Here's a look at the rest of the temperatures. Some areas should be in the 90s for this time of the year. Inland, we were at 84 for a high in El Cajon today. 70s up and down our coastline, pretty close to average in the deserts. 107 to 109, 84 in Julian, 90 in Warner Springs. Right now, temperatures have cooled off. It's so nice outside. 81 in Escondido, 81 also in El Cajon, 70s in Chula Vista, Oceanside, and downtown. Tomorrow, maybe 1 to 2 degrees cooler. Then we'll talk about the warm-up. I'll have the details for that in your full forecast.
Thank you, Megan. Today, the FBI released new photos of the gun used in the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. They show the firearm's collapsible stock, which investigators say may have been used to conceal the rifle at the site. The FBI also released photos of the backpack and explosives the shooter had in his car at the rally. It comes as the FBI continues to figure out a motive for the shooting. Investigators say the gunman looked at various events or targets for a potential attack, but zeroed in on Trump's Pennsylvania rally as, quote, a target of opportunity. And now to the race for the White House. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris back on the campaign trail as the sprint to the November election continues. ABC's M. Wen shows us which states the candidates are focusing on this week.
Today, Vice President Kamala Harris and running mate Governor Tim Walz kicking off their 2-day campaign blitz across the key battleground state of Georgia.
People tell me, look, I'm really not that into politics. My response to that is too damn bad. Politics is into you.
Harris's visit to the Peach State marks her first time on the campaign trail since the Democratic National Convention ended last week. Today, the duo setting out on a bus tour through several southern counties in a critical state President Biden narrowly won in 2020. The Harris-Walz ticket fighting to do it again.
We'll have your back just like you've had ours.
Harris's campaign touting continued momentum with more than 35,000 new volunteers in the state. This as former President Trump reshapes his race against Harris, hitting several must-win states this week, including Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. His VP picked Senator J.D. Vance in Michigan today, bashing Harris on the economy.
Under Kamala Harris's policies, in Pennsylvania, the average worker's wages have gone down by 6%.
This as Trump faces a newly revised federal indictment over his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Special counsel Jack Smith again charging the former president adjusting to the Supreme Court's ruling that granted broad presidential immunity. Smith keeping the same 4 counts against Trump, including conspiracy to defraud the United States and to obstruct the certification of electoral votes. The difference is these charges now only relate to Trump's alleged actions as a private citizen and political candidate rather than a sitting president. Trump calling the new indictment a direct assault on democracy. Vice President Harris is set to give her first national interview as a presidential candidate this week, but she won't be alone. It's scheduled to be a joint appearance alongside her VP pick, Governor Walz. I'm Wen, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up, a listeria outbreak linked to Boar's Head deli meat growing. What you need to know, plus a ton of new parking spots available at San Diego International Airport. It's the first feature to open in the Terminal 1 revamp. The changes you'll notice the next time you head down to the airport. ABC 10 News is back in 90 seconds. More illnesses and deaths are being linked to a listeria outbreak tied to recalled Boar's Head deli meat. According to the CDC, 57 people have been hospitalized. 8 people have died. It's been called the largest listeria outbreak since the 2011 outbreak linked to cantaloupe. More than 70 Boar's Head products have been recalled, including ham, bologna, salami, and more. Listeria can cause severe illness, and symptoms often include fever, stomach upset, and muscle aches. While San Diego County continues to experience cooler than normal temperatures for this time of year, other parts of the U.S. are dealing with scorching conditions. As Scripps News meteorologist Scott Withers shows us, some areas could see record heat.
Another day of real and feels like triple digits across the Mid-South and the Mid-Atlantic, but there is relief on the horizon. A dangerous heat wave blanketing much of the country, putting 50 million people under alerts and making the challenge for firefighters wearing 75 pounds of gear even harder.
You got to watch out for, heat illness and heat stroke and things like that.
Temperatures so high that some schools in the Detroit area are dismissing students early. The school superintendent saying many schools just don't have air conditioning.
About 50% have air conditioning. In the next 5 years, all but 10 will have air conditioning. So just excited to make this investment.
Coaches are keeping a close eye on student athletes out in this heat.
We just try and implement everything that we can between water breaks and equipment and time off and being in the air conditioning so we can manage stuff like this.
The extreme heat triggering a line of intense storms across southeastern Michigan.
It looked like a tornado was about to form almost.
Rain and gusting winds downing trees and cutting power to hundreds of thousands of customers. One resident moving his car just minutes before a huge tree fell.
Oh, it would have took out the engine for sure. It would have been a complete loss.
Heat advisories are in effect for parts of the Midwest to the East Coast. Storms like this one in Michigan will cool that region down, but temperatures will pick up across the South. I'm Scripps News senior meteorologist Scott Withers.
This 10 News Pinpoint Weather Report is sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Nobody wows clients like we do.
Checking in now with one of our meteorologists, Megan Perry has been tracking our very nice temperatures.
Very nice temperatures for summer. And that is a good thing. It's all about perspective, right? If we were seeing these temperatures in winter, we'd be like, this is too hot. But for summer, it's actually quite comfortable, especially when you look at what the rest of the country is dealing with. Right now, it feels like 93 still in Memphis, 94 in Atlanta, and they're 3 hours later than us. So it's 8 o'clock at night for them, and they're still seeing those temperatures in the 90s. All right, beautiful sunshine across our ABC 10 News sky cams. We will see the marine layer roll in again tonight. A lot of coast and inland neighborhoods waking up to those clouds. Will be sunny by early to mid-morning for most of the county, but some coastal areas may take until maybe 11 o'clock or even noon to see abundantly sunny skies. We're already down to 70 in Carlsbad and in Del Mar, 81 in Poway, El Cajon, Escondido, and in Alpine, several degrees cooler than this time yesterday. And on top of that, so also keep in mind, not only these temperatures below normal, so we're not only trending near or below average for this time of the year, but when you put it into perspective for how hot we were earlier this summer and how humid it was, we were seeing dew point temperatures in the mid 60s and 70s, not only at the coast, but all the way out to the desert areas. To see these 50s and low 60s for the coast and the valleys, very comfortable. For the mountains and the deserts, in the 30s, 40s and 50s, that is significantly drier than it was earlier this summer when not only the temperatures were above normal, but also we were dealing with that humidity. So yeah, it's feeling a lot more comfortable than it has been almost this entire summer, it feels like. All right, tomorrow, even a touch cooler, low to mid 70s again along our coastline, mostly mid 80s for the inland neighborhoods, 84 in El Cajon, 86 in Escondido, 89 in Ramona, 86 in Santee, and in Alpine, low 80s for our mountains at about 105 to 107 in the deserts. So this little storm right here is bringing the cooler weather. We also have a coastal eddy helping to kick up that marine layer. But high pressure, that's that warmer air, that starts to roll in by next week. And that's going to be bringing our temperatures a little bit higher. Tomorrow morning, look at this, 8:30 in the morning, many of us waking up to those marine layer clouds. Most of us, again, will be sunny between about 9 and 10 a.m. Some areas may take along the coast till about 11 o'clock or noon. Next week, we're looking at temperatures in the 80s along our coastline, but near average through Monday, through the holiday. Actually really nice through the holiday. Inland neighborhoods, temperatures do start to tick upwards slightly this weekend, but it will be much more noticeable next week. 95 on Wednesday. Even the mountains will see those 90s by Wednesday. Some areas close to it by Tuesday. And for the desert, it's also warming up closer to 110 before you know it. Ooh. Kimberly?
Wow. Thank you, Megan. And now 10 News Time Saver Traffic with Officer Mark LaTulip watching our freeways. How's it going, Mark?
We're keeping watch on a Wednesday, Kimberly, and yes, southbound traffic doing what it does on a Wednesday night. Unfortunately, lots of brake lights out there. The 5 from La Jolla all the way down to National City, you're going to find brake lights throughout that spot in varying degrees. 805 is probably actually worse than the 5 right now. 52 down to National City, lots of brake lights. Southbound at the 94 or just south of, we have a 3-vehicle crash blocking the HOV lane and the left-hand lane, so heads up for that. We're working on getting that out of the way, but it has left its mark on us. 163 southbound from the 805 to Balboa Park, clear onto the 5 there on the 163, but still very heavy. 15 southbound from the 163 all the way down to the 5, you're going to find pockets of slowing. 8 eastbound from the 163 to the College area, and then again at the 125, a lot of brake lights. 52 heavy from Convoy to Mast. I'm CHP Officer Mark LaTulip with your 10 News Time Saver Traffic.
Thank you, Mark. A group of San Diegans getting a first-hand look at Marine boot camp. Coming up, the valuable lessons they learned during the week-long training session.
Skycam Views, sponsored by Carlsbad Solar.
Now let's pay tribute to one of our hometown heroes. This is boatswain's mate, second class, Kenneth Custodio. And the San Diego native is seen here tying rope in the pilot house aboard the USS John Finn in the Philippine Sea. Kenneth, we thank you for your service. And earlier this week, we introduced you to some lucky San Diegans who got to see firsthand how the Marine Corps transforms young men and women into Marines. They underwent an immersive week-long boot camp. ABC 10 News reporter Sierra Encinas followed up with some of the participants who say the experience dispelled misconceptions they might have had about the military.
Wow. You'd never know. Got it. But some of these teachers have never picked up a rifle.
Go ahead and get them on that yellow ready line.
As the boot camp experience continued, educators and influencers' confidence skyrocketed. Not bad. Linda Hernandez
No ammunition will be
is a special education teacher at Patrick Henry High School. It was her first time picking up the same rifles recruits learned to fire.
You hear from people who either retired or people who joined their experience, and literally being able to be here and experience it myself is a whole different experience.
Just like a recruit, let's go. Linda and other teachers from around the world went step by step transforming into Marines. Arriving to drill instructors,
put your thumbs in your knuckles, just like this.
Participating in fitness tests, and now learning how to handle a rifle.
Like this.
Throughout the boot camp experience, she says a misconception was dispelled.
I believe that you just come to the military and sometimes they just send you to war, or they just just drill.
Instead, she says she was able to see the camaraderie and teamwork that makes up the Corps firsthand.
Some people come from different environments, so them coming here, they get to learn more about themselves. They get to see what it is to be a Marine and to just build like a family.
Sierra Encinas, ABC 10 News.
The Educators Workshop is offered twice a year in San Diego. A Supreme Court decision impacting people's student loan repayments, plus the Nevada politician accused of killing a journalist who wrote unflattering articles about him learns his fate. The message the DA says this sends.
Watch Scripps News for all-day coverage from across the country and around the world. Scripps News is available in San Diego on 10.5 or stream 24/7 on your favorite app. Scripps News is owned by the same company as ABC 10 News.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
Today, the U.S. Supreme Court declined to lift a sweeping block on President Joe Biden's student loan repayment plan. The SAVE plan aims to slash monthly payments and quicken the path to loan forgiveness. The High Court turned down a request from the Biden administration to put the plan back in play. That came after lower courts blocked it this summer in a legal challenge brought by GOP-led states. There were no noted dissents in the brief order. Today's order has no immediate impact on the 8 million borrowers currently enrolled in the program. We're just 69 days from the election. Analysts say it'll be a close race between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. They're keeping a close eye on 7 battleground states that could shape the outcome. Scripps News reporter Stephanie Liebergen is in Washington with a look at how the electoral map has changed since Harris joined the race.
After a summer of change in the 2024 presidential election, one thing remains the same. Polls are still showing a close race in November, but election experts say the new Democratic ticket has brought some swing states back in play. Election analysts have long predicted the race for the White House could hinge on just a handful of states. But the Democratic momentum behind Vice President Kamala Harris is making some of those battleground states more competitive. In 2020, 7 states were decided by 3 points or less. Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania in the north, Georgia and North Carolina in the southeast, and Arizona and Nevada out west.
I think both sides are really focused on these core battleground states. Joe Biden won 6 of those 7, all but North Carolina of the key swing states in 2020. Trump won 6 of those 7 states, all but Nevada in 2016.
Prior to President Biden dropping out, polling showed former President Donald Trump leading in most, if not all, of the 7 battlegrounds. But since Harris took over as the Democratic nominee, the forecast models are moving in her favor.
Nevada very much looked like it was off the table. That's come back into play. Arizona was moving away from them. You know, we've seen her reinvigorate young voters, voters of color, including both Latinos and Black voters. And that has just really sort of changed the map and the math. And now that there are multiple paths.
Democrats want to be competitive in North Carolina, but the state has only gone blue once in the last 40 years, in 2008 for Barack Obama. The Cook Political Report with Amy Walter updated their ratings Tuesday to move North Carolina from leans Republican to a toss-up.
I was at the Democratic National Convention last week. Governor Roy Cooper, who has won twice, even as Trump won the state, is term limited this time, but he said, you know, it feels like 2008 all over again.
Republicans seem to be responding to the changes in the race. This week, Trump and his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, have busy campaign schedules, focusing much of their time on the 3 northern swing states. Harris and Walz have events in Georgia, North Carolina, and Maryland. Of the 7 battleground states, Pennsylvania has the highest number of electoral votes up for grabs, 19, which means the Keystone State might hold the key to winning the White House. Stephanie Liebergen, Scripps News, Washington.
A former Nevada politician who fatally stabbed a prominent Las Vegas investigative journalist has been sentenced to life in prison after being found guilty of murder. Robert Tellis bowed and shook his head when today's verdict was read. Tellis had served as a Clark County public administrator. Police say he stabbed Jeff German outside his home 2 years ago over unflattering articles. Those stories included allegations of bullying and favoritism in Tellis's office.
Today's verdict should send a message, and that message is a clear message that any attempts to silence the media or to silence or intimidate a journalist will not be tolerated.
Tellis lost his bid for re-election soon after those articles were published. The federal government is making it easier for migrants south of the border to apply for asylum. Scripps News reporter Christian Bryant explains the changes being made to the CBP One app.
For migrants hoping to come to the U.S., one way to apply for asylum is using the CBP One app. Since its launch last year, more than 765,000 people have scheduled asylum appointments using the app. In order to access it, migrants had to be in central or northern Mexico. This month, though, the U.S. government expanded the app to include Mexico's southernmost states. It's an effort to try to relieve pressure on the U.S.-Mexico border and keep migrants in the south until their asylum case is heard. Lady Espinosa came from Venezuela and says they left because they are a part of the LGBTQ+ community. They're planning to wait for their appointment.
We have to wait now. We asked for an appointment from here and we cannot move anywhere. We cannot move until the app tells us what to do.
The same is true for Heriberto Antonio.
I have to wait here. I cannot go anywhere anymore because I asked for an appointment from here. To move elsewhere, it's like playing cat and mouse. I prefer to wait. It's God's will.
CBP One has been one of the measures of greatest impact in U.S. efforts to bring order to the growing demand for asylum along its southwestern border. The Mexican government supports the idea, saying expanding the app could keep people from getting detained by police or victimized by organized crime groups as they make their way north. With an appointment, the migrants are supposed to be able to travel freely to the border. But some migrants say there aren't any jobs or opportunities in the South. So even with the expanded app, they're planning on heading to northern Mexico while they wait for their asylum cases to be heard.
Today, Israel launched a major military operation in the occupied West Bank, killing at least 10 Hamas militants. Israel says the move was aimed at preventing attacks on civilians, but the Palestinian Health Ministry says Israel forces have blocked the roads leading to a hospital with dirt barriers and surrounded other medical facilities. Israel has carried out near daily raids across the West Bank since Hamas's October 7th terror attack. Coming up, how MRIs may be helpful in detecting breast cancer for some women. And a new warning from the Surgeon General, how parenting stress may impact your health.
This ABC 10 News Staying Healthy report is sponsored by Palomar Health, reimagining healthcare.
MRIs may be helpful in detecting breast cancer for some women. The Journal of American Medical Association released findings of a study. It found targeting MRIs to women with uneven or extremely dense breast tissue may save up to 10% more lives.
Dense breast means that you have more what's called fibroglandular tissue as related to fatty tissue. And on a mammogram, the fibroglandular tissue looks white, fatty tissue looks black. So if your breasts are more dense, it's harder to see a cancer because a cancer can look white. So it's like trying to find a snowflake in a snowstorm.
The FDA will require doctors to inform women when they get a mammogram if they have dense breasts, and this mandate begins September 10th. The additional screenings could, however, come with risks. With breast MRIs, there's also an increase in possible positives, and that's when a test detects disease or an abnormality, when in fact there is nothing wrong, no cancer. And right now, insurance coverage for additional MRI testing is case by case, depending on each person's situation. And now to a new advisory by the Surgeon General warning just how overwhelmed parents are these days. As ABC's Ariel Reshef reports, mothers and fathers are facing dangerous levels of stress.
A newly released advisory from the Surgeon General revealing the stress parents are feeling and the impact it's having on mental health.
Parents typically don't talk about this all the time. They tend to focus on their kids' health and well-being, but there's also this sense of shame and guilt sometimes around struggling as a parent.
New data showing 48% of parents say most days their stress is completely overwhelming, compared to 26% among other adults without kids.
It also turns out that parents are struggling with loneliness at a much higher level than other adults, particularly single parents.
34-year-old Caitlin Niles is a working mom to a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. She says she feels the pressure to balance her career and family.
There's so much pressure on parents to spend all of this quality time with your kids, like sit on the ground and play pretend. with your 4-year-old, you know? And when you think about it logically, it's like, there's no way my mom was able to do that.
Surgeon General Vivek Murthy's report citing common parental stressors like financial strain, worries about children's health and safety, technology and social media, and time demands, saying all of these combined are contributing to the nationwide epidemic of loneliness and isolation. Eric Martinez, a father of 2 from Colorado, says he's had to learn new strategies in limiting his kids' access to technology and social media.
We didn't share this experience growing up. We didn't have access to this technology when we were 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So we're kind of figuring this out as we go along.
We have to remember what stress is. And stress is your emotional response to the increased pressure. So we're going to decrease the pressure by number 1, outsourcing tasks and not feeling guilty about it. We are going to make sure we make time for our mental health, our physical health, and our spiritual health. And then we're not going to feel guilty about it because all of those things are making us better parents.
Murthy calling for a culture shift, policies and programs to better enable parents to thrive.
Whether it's just simply showing up to let a parent know that they're not alone, that we've got their back, those small moments of care and kindness, they make a huge difference to parents.
It was Ariel Reshef reporting. The Surgeon General says parents and caregivers need support from government, employers, and communities to provide benefits and resources such as affordable child care, paid time off with a sick child, and reliable access to mental health care. A ton of new parking spots are now available at San Diego Airport. It's the first feature to open on the Terminal 1 revamp. What you need to know.
Ooh, excited for that to be done. Look at this shot from Carlsbad, one of my favorites. Well, we've had some cooler than normal temperatures for a while now. I'm going to be pinpointing when temperatures are going to go back up, when it's going to be feeling hot again, timing it all out in your Super 7-day forecast.
United Airlines flight attendants demonstrated at San Diego International today as part of a nationwide call to action. The union representing these workers authorized a strike if their demands are not met. Workers are calling for better pay, better schedules, along with more flexibility and job security, among other demands. This marks the first time United flight attendants voted to strike since 2005.
United Airlines is dragging their feet at the bargaining table. It's been 3 years. We've been bargaining for over 3 years now, and they haven't wrapped up a contract with us. Nor are they, the way they're bargaining right now, they have no intention of wrapping up a contract anytime soon.
In a statement, the airline said it is eager to reach an agreement and is continuing to work toward a, quote, industry-leading agreement. It also added there's no work stoppage or labor disruption. The new parking plaza at San Diego International Airport is officially open. This just in time for Labor Day weekend. ABC 10 News reporter Madison Wild takes us inside the structure and breaks down everything travelers should know ahead of the holiday.
We're here to celebrate a major milestone for our construction project.
The new Terminal 1 parking plaza adding 2,834 new parking spots for travelers.
It is incredibly convenient. We're immediately across the street, within steps of the existing T1.
And this is just the first phase to be completed of the ongoing airport renovation project. We're told total parking availability at the airport will increase to nearly 8,500 spaces when phase 2 is completed in late summer of next year.
So we really designed and constructed our new Terminal 1 parking plaza with sustainability in mind.
Sustainability in mind with details like this. Storm drains that collect rainwater to clean it and reuse it on site.
When the new Terminal 1 opens at the end of next summer, we'll actually be able to flush toilets in the new terminal with collected rainwater.
And designated spots for clean vehicles and electric vehicles, complete with charging ports. As for the cost, we're told it's $38 a day. You can also pay hourly. And good news, there's still plenty of spots available as we head into Labor Day weekend.
Our peak days will be Thursday and Sunday night, Monday.
The airport expects 75,000 travelers per day over the course of the holiday, urging passengers to give themselves plenty of time, no matter which way you get here. Madison Weil, ABC 10 News.
We'll all be happy for the renovation to be done. The airport also recommends making a parking reservation online. There is a limited time promo code for online customers. We have everything that you need to know about it posted on our website with this story on 10news.com.